What a jerk. What a jerk.
Oh, I've been there. I've been there once.
Yeah, it's a cool spot.
I like it. The setup is weird.
Yeah, with that giant ass stage, and then fucking everybody's like in the middle, and there's that whole weird back section. Yeah.
I tried to use the fact that it's a wireless mic to my advantage. I was trying to like walk around. And I immediately felt like a fake Chris Rock, and so I don't think I'm gonna do that next time.
Oh, St. James, that's funny. So I got these Kid Cudi albums today.
I saw you posted that.
Yeah, so I only ordered one, but they sent me two, which I'm guessing was a fuck up.
Nice.
I was like, I'll give one to someone. So I was like, I posted this thing where I'm like, if you love Kid Cudi, hit me up, and I'll go just like, how much is it, man? How much do I gotta buy it for? I'm like, you clearly don't love him, because I just asked if you love him, I'll give it to you.
Right.
And he was like, how much can I pay you to just sell this to someone else for more money?
You should turn it into a game. You should make two comics. The comics that want the most got to fight for it. That would be entertaining.
There's like fucking dudes that I just know hit me up for it.
Are you a hip hop head?
Oh yeah, I love hip hop.
You seem like it.
I got a lot of now with this fucking hat.
I know. I saw the John Deere hat.
On the cover, dude. I bought this hat for a sketch, and then ever since then I've just loved it so much because when I rock it backwards, it's just so comfortable.
It's
so comfortable to wear like this, but I look like an asshole.
Yes, definitely.
I was wearing it like this one time at a mic, and someone goes, "Holy shit, you're a piece of shit." And I also had this hoodie on. It was literally just this hoodie and this hat. And someone goes, "You look like you fucking smoke vapes and then cigs right afterwards."
There's something about the snapbacks.
Oh yeah.
There's a vibe to them.
It's just comfortable, dude.
Yeah.
It's hard to get these though that are like comfortable like this, because this is just fucking soft all around.
What was the sketch for?
Oh, I did this weird thing where I was trying to do like a hillbilly cooking show, and like it never panned out. Like it got like 200 views on YouTube, and I was like, that's pretty decent. And it was like, I tried to think of a second one. I'm like, I can't think of anything else.
So now you just have the hat.
I just have the hat. I'm like, I fucking love this hat so much.
You can't waste the hat. When I first got here, there's a few people that stood out. Like, I don't know. I remember our first real interaction. It was at that Irish Eyes? It was right next to Wrigley Field.
Right next to Wrigley. Oh, there's a few. Blarney Stone?
I think so. It was in the back. Well, they're all in the fucking back.
Yeah, dude. Open mics happen where no one can see them for a reason.
Yeah, it was in the back.
The back, okay.
And it doesn't matter.
It had to have been Blarney, because like, is it on Clark Street?
Yes.
Like it's right near where Mike is?
Yes. Yeah.
It's Blarney then. Yeah.
And I remember you told a story about taking edibles and going to. Can I talk about that?
Yeah, sure. Go
ahead. Okay, taking edibles and going to work and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember just talking with you about that. But I remember seeing you when I first moved here. Okay. Like when I first got here, I was just shutting the fuck up and watching people. Yeah. And I remember remembering you felt like, for lack of a better word, like one of the guys. You know what I'm saying?
Guys?
Like if you were watching Goodfellas.
One of the guys. Yeah. Yo, one of the guys.
Like I felt like Spider in the Goodfellas, and everyone else is at the table playing poker. And I don't know if you're Joe Pesci. I hope not in the scenario. But
beat the shit out of someone. Do I look like a clown to you?
It was fucking you, Derek Strong. I haven't had any conversation with him, but I believe his name is Skylar Higley.
Oh yeah, Skylar.
And St. James. You actually just said though. Yeah. You guys in particular felt like you've been in this scene for a while. Yeah. Did you all come up together?
Yeah. We started Skylar started at the same time I was here. So I came out to the city in 2016? Yeah, 2016. It was May 2016 I got here. And the end of May. And dude, I was hitting mics so sporadically back then. It's fucking wild how much I do it now versus then. But it was Skylar. One of the first people I met was Bill Batiste, who was just in town from New York, who's been on and off with comedy for the last couple of years because of the pandemic. But so him, and then Brendan Lemon, who's he's bounces around so goddamn much from New York and Chicago and Michigan, and he was in Texas for a while. And then St. James, I met all of those dudes at the same time, as well as Skylar started right around then too. There's a dude who's big on TikTok now called Josh. His name's Josh Otusanya. He's a New York guy. He's also like he's a fucking model. He's so goddamn. He's like a good looking.
Right,
dude.
I need to look this dude up.
Oh yeah, look him up. Josh Otusanya.
Okay.
He's got like 8 million followers on TikTok.
God damn.
Like the entire continent of Africa follows him, dude. He's Nigerian. He's doing these funny ass sketches for a while called African Man, and they're so funny. And he stopped doing them. Now he does all these like he does these like knowledge videos about like psychology and stuff. But yeah, him. Like, I met a bunch of people. Matt Kennedy, who, like, moved to Boston. Yeah, that dude.
Yep.
Good-looking fucking guy, dude.
Yeah,
Played soccer in college. Nice dude. He's, like, he is the nicest human being you'll ever meet in your life. Like,
really?
Oh, my God. When I remember talking to him, like, and he'd be like, oh, he was one of those people who's actually engaged when you're talking to him versus, like, everyone else is like, what am I going to say next?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, you're actually listening.
Like, really processing the information.
Like, I was like, oh, shit.
That's
him, Skylar. Clay Hurlbut, like there's all these people I met. There's this mic that used to be around called Patsies, and if any comic hearing this, like any Chicago comic hearing this, or like anyone who lived here, fucking hated that place, dude.
Why?
The owner was a ginormous asshole. He was like one of the biggest, dude. So like it was an open mic, and they had a 1 item minimum, but then the bar had a $10 card limit.
Okay.
And then like they had a cash machine, so he basically like knew he was fucking regular. And then like most places are like, yeah, it's a minimum. They don't really regulate it and like watch you. But he would like walk up to you like an asshole and be like, "You gonna buy some or not? You get the fuck out of here." He was like a huge dick, dude.
That is what I
like. I'm pretty amicable with most people, but I remember there was one time people were like talking in the back. And I was like, "Yo, just fucking," they're doing the thing. And then fucking, I remember I did my thing, and then afterwards. Like, he was adjusting the chair. He's like, no talking in the back. I'm like, hey, how about go fuck yourself? I was drunk, too, so I didn't care. I was like,
of course.
And he had, like, this tiny dog, like, that he used to bring to the bar that I now feel bad saying this, but at the time I was like, dude, fuck you and your little dog. You're both pieces of shit.
He's a piece of shit, but the dog.
The dog wasn't, dude. The dog, I just felt bad because I'm like, the dog got picked up by a shitty owner. I was like, afterwards. But in the heat of the moment, I was like, fuck you, bitch. And I walked out. And I remember... like, I think I, like, snuck back in for one of the last open mics, and St. James spent the entire time of his set just shitting on this dude.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, he just spent, and then they were supposed to do one more mic, and the guy was like, no, we're not doing any more mics. Because, like, the bar was closing, so everyone, like, and he knew that, like, if the last mic happened, everyone was just going to shit on him. So he canceled it and then just closed the bar right away.
I fucking heard about this place.
Yeah, dude, it was so fun. Dude, that place... Dude, it was wild because, like, I fucking ordered so much food from there, and then to be shading me, I'm like, are you out of your goddamn fucking mind, dude? They did have a great cook. I'll give him that. Whoever the fucking cook was, good for him.
Was the mic itself great?
It would be up and down, dude. It was like when I first got here, it was like the fucking spot to like fucking like it was right around the corner for me. There was always comics there. Like it was Tuesday, Fridays, and like Friday there'd be normal people hanging out, and like at some point everyone was just like, this place fucking sucks, and it was all because that guy.
I can see that. The owner,
dude, it's wild people who can't get out of their own fucking way.
Yeah,
like, dude, you could have had a successful business if you weren't such a fucking prick. And it was hilarious. People would make fun of like how he would just sit at the bar and like talk shit. Be like, yeah, kick these guys' asses. Like, no one who has actually kicked someone's ass spends so much time talking about it.
Yeah. Did you come to the city a lot growing up, or was that like?
Yeah. We were back and forth. My parents grew up on the west side. So like my parents grew up like, shit. I'm trying to think. They grew up all over the city, like. Because they both moved so much. My mom was born in San Diego, and then she moved around between her dad was in the Navy until he dipped out, and then they grew up all over the city. But yeah, my parents from like the northwest side, the west side. It's kind of like in that general area. They're all over, and then for a while they actually lived in Lakeview. My mom did with my grandma. My grandma actually went to Lakeview High School, like.
So your family kind of runs.
My family
deep.
like is from I have deep roots in here.
It makes so much sense. You have such a fucking Chicago-ness to you.
Yeah, dude. I guess, dude. Jerry Hamidi walked up to me one time, and I was reading a book, and he goes, "Let me guess, it's about comedy or Chicago?" I'm like, "It's about the Chicago mob." Because I fucking knew it.
I know that you were saying you were considering moving at some point, and it wasn't going to be to New York.
No. Or LA. I went down to Austin and checked it out, and I fucking just didn't like it.
What was it?
It's just fucking gross and it's dirty. No disrespect to anyone in Austin, but like it's fucking grimy out there, dude. Like
grimy as people, or
no, just like fucking the city is. Like I was like first off, it's hot as fuck. So they have like a shitload of homeless people.
Yeah.
And like homeless people are fine. There's nothing like wrong with that, but like they don't do anything to like clean up. Like after that, and then also it's a fucking college town too, because University of Texas is there, and they don't do anything.
They're all wearing those hats that you're wearing.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. College town.
Yeah. So it's like they don't fucking clean up like after all those kids. And it's like, so like maybe it was just the area I was in was shitty, but like that's where all the comedy stuff was though. I was like, this is fucking gross.
And then you've been to Skid Row in LA?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's really fucking
gnarly.
It's disturbing.
Oh fuck, really?
Yeah, it's like a whole city.
I've never heard a good thing about LA from anyone.
I never when I decided to move out here, I think I told you about this because I've told a lot. I feel like I'm in a loop with telling people stuff because I'm new.
Oh yeah, definitely no.
And but I when I decided to move to Chicago, everyone was like, "Why would you do that?
Yeah.
That's such just move to LA." And it's like, "But I don't like LA."
Yeah, dude, no. LA, dude, here's the thing, like Chicago doesn't get the credit it deserves for comedy. A lot of that's our own faults. But
why? How so?
Because we don't like we allow ourselves to be little brothered into like this like image where we're like, oh, we're the third best comedy city. It's like no, fuck that, dude. LA's dog shit. Get the fuck out of here, dude. LA makes movies, cool, but like stand up, they got the store, and then anyone you talk to about like individual run shows, like, oh, it's fucking terrible. They're like or like open mics, they're like they're garbage. They're fucking trash. And like a lot of the New York City mic shit is trash, and like the independent show shit, because it's like, oh, you gotta bring people, or you gotta fucking pay to do the mic. It's like, are you out of your goddamn fucking mind? You want broke people to pay to tell jokes to no one? Are you fucking insane?
I think that was my. I mean, I still haven't been to New York yet.
Yeah,
but
I need to go out there and do comedy too.
Wait, have you never done comedy?
I haven't, but I've heard enough, and like fucking, I've never done comedy out there, but I've heard enough, and like I've seen the people to be like, oh, y'all some grimy motherfuckers.
Yeah. I one day if you go out there, please let me know.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll probably go out this summer because I know a bunch of people, and I should be able to slide through some spots.
But that was kind of my logic. Was like I knew what LA felt like, and it didn't feel right, and New York felt like too much, almost like too obvious.
Like an aggressive city in general. I've only been a few times now. Like one time I was only there for a couple hours for work, and like fucking.
And you were just done with it?
Even then I was like, I fucking don't get this. Like it's like a shittier. I've always seen it as like a shitty version of Chicago, right? It's like a grosser, meaner version of Chicago with way more people and fucking way less fucking like connectivity. Because like Chicago's nice, like they have the boroughs and shit. Chicago's got neighborhoods, but they're all interconnected because the streets are designed in a grid. Versus the boroughs are all like fucking like secluded, weird little areas. It feels like in
New York.
Yeah, it feels like they're kind of fucking tucked away with bridges and shit.
Are we in a borough or a neighborhood? What is this?
We're in a neighborhood.
We're in a neighborhood.
Yeah, like so Chicago's broken into neighborhoods. New York's broken into boroughs, which have their own neighborhoods. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you have the Bronx, which has its own section. Brooklyn has its own sections in it. Like fucking. So like you have that, like fucking East Ridge shit. Like that's how New York is. And LA is just fucking weird. LA just makes no sense.
You need a car.
Yeah, you have to, dude. Dude, it was funny because Joe Kilgallen tweeted this week, and he's like, someone was like, Chicago has more traffic than LA. I can't believe that. It's like, yes, you can. It's like, go drive. Yes, you can believe that. It's like, if you get on the highway, it takes fucking forever to get anywhere. Yeah, because there was like a study that was like, Chicago drivers spent the most amount of time in traffic. And someone was like, well, what about LA? And someone was like, if you fucking know anything about LA, you can just fucking navigate around the highways.
Yep. Yeah.
Chicago's like, everyone navigates through the highways. But like, if you figure out how to navigate without them, it's fucking way easier to move around. Chicago.
It's my car's broken down and
fuck, that sucks. Sorry.
It's literally just been sitting right over there.
What's wrong with it?
A lot. I mean, we drove it through.
The lights have been on for a minute and we just have not paid attention.
There's this sound. It sounds like a dead raccoon in there.
I made a joke about that one time where I'm like, my dating life is like a broken down car. All the lights have been on and I just keep ignoring them.
Yeah, it's. We drove it from California to here.
Fuck.
The potholes have been destroying it.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it's a fucking nightmare, especially on anywhere south of fucking Madison.
That means something to me. I'm getting it. So
like we're on the south side right now because we're south of Madison.
Oh, I live on the south side.
Yeah.
Oh,
technically, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, you live south of Madison, so fucking everything south of that is south side. But
south side. What's the sign? How do you do the
south side? I don't even know how to do it.
There's got to be a sign.
There is for sure. But
I'm just walk around.
Sign language S.
But no, that shit broke
down. The Superman symbol around.
Yeah. So it broke down, but if I was in California, I would be fucked. I couldn't even go to work if it was broke down. But out here, I can still navigate, which feels good. And so you've been what? So you said 10 years you've been doing it?
Yeah, technically, because I started in college when I was 18.
Damn. And do you have like a plan for how to make a living off of it, or?
I'm just fucking trying to figure it out. I'm like everybody else, dude. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, it fucking bothers me when people are like, yeah, you're the guy to hit up to for advice. Don't fucking.
Oh, are you? So other people picked up on the same
people
thing?
Like, yeah, you're the advice guy. I'm like, I'll give you advice. I don't know if I'd listen to it because I'm still trying to get booked on shows like you are. I'm still trying to get into clubs. We're all just trying to figure it out. I mean,
yeah,
it's just slowly piecing it together. The thing is, like, right now, the whole thing is like, everybody's like, oh, you got to do a bunch of clips. And it's like,
bunch of clips?
Like, post clips and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess, but like, even if your clips blow up, it doesn't mean you're gonna get booked on shit. So like I guess the thing is just keep trying to get fucking booked in more and more until I can fucking quit my day job.
Do you see yourself doing that in like 5 years?
5, I'm fucking probably doing shorter than that.
Nice.
I mean, at some point you just gotta pull the shoe, right?
Yeah. Well, what does it pull the shoe?
At some point you're fucking falling, right? Pull the shoe and fucking just.
Oh, I thought you said pull the shoe. Like you gotta put your shoe up. Okay. And just go for it.
Just fucking go for it.
Do you make money off of stand up?
Not enough, but I mean, here's the thing, dude. So like people are like, oh, I don't have a job and I'm doing this. It's like, all right, you're not doing it hard enough, then, dude. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, if I'm only doing this, then I'm only doing this. Like, I'm fucking like right now I'm already fucking like 10 toes deep. But if I'm doing this, fucking, I'm putting my hands in the dirt too, dude. I'm fucking going. Fucking all balls to the walls if I'm doing this. I'm traveling around. I'm doing anything I can. I'll do fucking anywhere they'll pay me. Fucking.
Where did that passion come from?
Ah, man, that's a good question. I failed enough at stuff not working hard enough to know that you just have to fucking commit. And also, like, I don't know. It's just the only thing I've ever done where I've been like, oh, this feels like what I'm supposed to do. It's the first thing I ever did where I was like, oh, this feels like I feel good doing this. Like, I feel whole.
You never felt good doing an engineering stuff?
Oh, fuck no, dude. Oh, my God. I hated... Dude, I thought about dropping out constantly when I was in college. And then fucking... Like, all the other stuff I did, like, in life that I had a passion for was like, yeah, I felt it, but I was never, like... I don't know how to say this. It was never, like, connected to me. Like, when I did this, it felt like...
Good?
Not just good. It felt like... It was like everything felt at peace almost. Like, where I was like, oh, everything makes sense. It was the first thing where I was like, oh, I fucking get who I am.
That is the most emotional thing I've ever heard you say.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You just opened up a little bit.
If you spend enough time with me, you'll hear me say some real bitch shit.
You definitely have like a rough exterior about you.
Do I? I don't try to.
It's the hat, man.
It's all the hat. It's the hat and the beard, dog.
No, I don't think you tried to. I remember you at least came off to me as fairly intimidating when I first came here.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, like you...
It's weird how first impressions are. There's a comic who I'm not going to say their name, but like when I first saw her do stand-up and like talk to her, I was like, oh, she's really like standoffish and like thinks she's like better than us. But it was just she was awkward. I was like, oh, you're just awkward. I was like, oh.
I'll tell you my first impressions of you if you want to hear them.
I don't care.
Okay, that moment right there. Like, yeah, I don't care. That's like a... It's not... It's like there's a city aggressive laissez-faire. Like,
okay,
like
funny.
There's a who I talked to Matt Bright.
Okay.
I'm assuming you know Matt.
Yeah, I know Matt.
I don't know who knows anybody, but I talked to him and he has like a always on mushrooms laissez-faire.
Yeah, he does. I love that dude.
Yeah, and I like the laissez-faire. And I talked to Aaron Klein. Do you know him?
Yeah, of course. San Francisco.
He had San Francisco laissez-faire, and you have like a Chicago grit laissez. Yeah, I don't care. Like,
like an aggressive, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, when I first moved here, I thought people were rude as shit.
Yeah.
And then I realized it's like, no, it's not them, it's me. It's like how I'm internalizing what they're saying.
What they're saying? Yeah, I see. Because the Midwest has a way of being friendly while also being like I fucking have to deal with this cold weather shit. I fucking have family who's fucking works in factories and shit. Yeah, no, I definitely get that. And then New York's just got to go fuck yourself vibe.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
I'd imagine New York is turned up way more. And so that gritty laissez-faire can come off, I think, intimidating to someone that's new.
Okay.
Which isn't, you obviously. But,
no, of course.
And then I remember the first time I felt like, I don't know if approval's the right word, but I felt like you were like, oh, he's not a bad guy. We were at your mic, and there was a bunch of Christmas shit everywhere. And
so recently,
very recently, it was very recently. I've been being real low key, or trying to be low key.
I mean, I've known you for a while.
Really?
Yeah, like months now. At least we talked about your skateboard fucking months ago.
That's true, but like that, I didn't feel like. I have a lot of insecurities, man.
Oh, dude, me too.
Okay,
join the club. Everyone doing anyone doing comedy, bro. Like I was talking to someone like, yeah, I'm insecure. I'm like, join everybody, bitch.
Yeah.
Everybody's insecure.
I'm learning that out here.
Yeah.
Where I was from, it felt like that hustle, that grind, that passion that you have.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it as much where I was from.
Okay.
And so I think I came off like a fucking crazy person because I was like, we gotta get it together. Like I felt like a coach in the fourth inning is not the right fourth quarter. There you go. You sports.
Yeah,
you got the hat.
My dad coached football, basketball, baseball.
I feel like a coach in the fourth quarter. No, I don't even feel like I feel like the assistant coach.
Yeah.
Who is trying so hard
to be the coach.
Yeah. Where I was like, fucking get it together, guys.
We had an assistant coach one time in basketball tell us, guys, when you get up, just step on their throats. Don't fucking cut up. And I was like, that's the most aggressive thing to tell freshmen in high school. You psychopath.
Do it. Yeah. No, like the assistant coach feels almost like impotent. Like you're trying to get more power.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how I came off. And then out here, I was like, let me just shut the fuck up because I'm in a bigger, we're going from like a pond to a lake. Puns?
Yeah, no, I get you. Okay.
And
you pulled in Lake Michigan. I got
puns, baby. And it's been like exciting but overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So like when I remember talking to you about the skateboard, but I've been meeting so many people.
Yeah, it's a lot of motherfuckers to me.
It's crazy.
Dude, but like that dude who walked up to me and was like, do you remember me? I'm like, do you know how many motherfuckers I meet on a constant basis, motherfucker?
I've been wanting to talk to you about that.
Do you know how many goddamn people I meet, dude? I was like, dude, I fucking meet like fucking 10 new people a day, dude. Yeah. You fucking, I've talked to you once, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? You don't remember me? Get the fuck out of here, man.
I'm gonna fucking send him this clip. Yo, that's so.
What's his name?
His name's Jack Woods.
Oh, Jack follows me on social media. Okay, yeah. I didn't know who he was. Like fucking if I met him again, probably I'd be like, oh yeah, okay. But like know he follows me on social media, but like it's like, dude, I can't remember every face and name. It's like, I remember most, but if I only seen you like a couple times, it's like, oh yeah, okay, it's that one guy. He did
my podcast recently. I'm just gonna get every goddamn body.
That's so funny.
But I love Jack. He's a really nice guy.
He seems like he is, but like
that was a weird.
No, when he walked up to me, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what do you want from me, man? I was like, fucking.
Can I get your perspective on that?
Yeah, sure.
On like a comedic professional level.
Okay.
Is my thought process of coming out here was don't bother people, go on stage, just be really, really funny, and then people will be fine with you eventually.
Yes and no. Okay. So there's this new comic. I'm not going to say their name because they literally just started a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And like
I already think I know who it is.
Yeah. So she walked up to me on a mic recently and she asked for advice and like she's really energetic and hyper and like it was cool. I was like, all right, yeah, she's really into this. There was another comic there telling her other shit too. So I was like, I'm not going to say too much. But then she told me, she's like, yeah, I was at Laugh Factory. I did the mic and then I went there on Saturday and I was like, hey, can I just get like 3 minutes? I'm like, are you out of your goddamn fucking mind? You asked to do 3 minutes on a show on a Saturday, like one of their busiest nights. You're like, hey, can I just drop in? I'm sure they're like, oh, I'm sure they appreciate that like as like a like
the heart.
Oh, it's like a nice like heart thing, but it's like, dude, you have to fucking do this for a long time. You have to like develop an act, and it's like you could have a good set at a mic, sure, that's dope. Had a good set at the mic, but like you have to do that repetitively. Like it's not like I did it once, and then like are you gonna be able to replicate that when you get on stage again? Like are you gonna be able to replicate that in front of a big crowd, or are you gonna come off as nervous in front of a big crowd? So you have to fucking develop that. And I was like, you don't just get shit instantly. No, there is no skipping the line. I've come to learn that. Like everyone's trying to like this whole thing with everybody dropping clips and shit. It's comedians being lazy and they're just trying to skip the line, man. We're all just trying to fucking get to the top as fast as possible. But it's like, dude, anyone who is truly great at this spent fucking years sucking and did all the shitty clubs, did all the shitty fucking bars and fucking clubs where they had to stay in fucking shitholes and stuff. And it's like, there's no skipping the line in this. Like, if you're gonna fucking do this, you gotta put the work in. And like all this TikTok and fucking Twitter. And
you have a TikTok on your shit.
I know. Well, I got this from someone who works for TikTok.
Hookups.
They had a party. They
nice.
And they were giving shit out. I was like, I'll take that.
Fair
it's
enough.
Also the softest hoodie I've ever owned in my whole goddamn life.
You do look very comfortable.
And then, but dude, there's this whole thing where it's like, dude, you can't skip the line. And like, Skylar Higley tweeted yesterday, and I shared it. It was so goddamn funny.
I read it. Please
say it. So funny. He was like, I hope there's another lockdown so I can get as many followers as some of you did for not being funny at all. And I was like, that is so goddamn funny. It's hysterical. Because the thing is, like, Yeah, you can get a bunch of followers and stuff. It doesn't mean you're good at this. Like, I know people who, like, there's this dude, I swear to God, I think he's from my hometown, or, like, he lived in our town for a minute because people know him from our hometown. But he's, like, famous. He was famous on Vine and then TikTok. And he's fucking headlining clubs and shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, there's no way that dude's good at comedy. I talked to someone who opened for him, like, oh, he's dog shit. Like, he's fucking terrible at this shit. He has no idea what he's doing. Like, he clearly is still at the open mic level.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fucking doing, like, trying to do, like, 40-minute sets. And he's, like, doing, like, 15, 20 with, like, weird stories and, like, just.
How does it go for him?
I guess it does well. He probably sells tickets because he's like he's got that influence. But like,
right.
It's only that's the thing with those people is it's only short lived, right? Like eventually they're just gonna turn into actors or do some bullshit, and then that'll fade out. So if you want this shit to last, you got to step through the mud, dude. Like you can't create a path fucking walking on grass. You got to step through that mud.
Yeah. And did you always know that, or did that something you had?
That's something I developed, dude. I thought, dude, when I started, I was like, oh, Lorne Michaels is gonna show up to one of these open mics. I'm gonna be on Saturday Night Live. I remember when Pete Davidson got Saturday Night Live. I was like, what the fuck is this motherfucker doing that I'm not? I'm like, oh, he's doing this for real. I'm in college doing open mics once a week. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Pete Davidson duds.
He did, dude. He started when he was 16, like really grinding, like fucking doing all this shit.
Sounds like he didn't have any friends, and
he did, but like it was like also like his dad died in 9/11, and he was probably like, fucking, I need to do something.
Yeah, man, something to do, and then he made it work out for him.
He did, and now he's dating Kim Kardashian. So honestly, he wins. He fucking wins. Everyone talks all this shit. I'm like, dude, one of the funniest tweets I've ever read in my whole life was like, everyone's saying Pete Davidson probably has a big dick. What if he's just a nice guy? I was like, that's so
what
funny.
if it's as simple as he's easy to talk to?
He's easy to talk to. Yeah. People get along with him.
He does. He really processes what you're saying. Yeah.
He pays attention to women.
He does seem like a very sweet person.
He does, dude. He seems like he's also super depressed.
Yeah.
So it's easy to talk to those people because they just listen because they have nothing else to think about.
That's other than their own depression. Yeah, it's like a diversion from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That respect the process. What is it? There's a Cat
Trust
Williams.
The process.
Trust the process.
It's fucking Joel Embiid. It was his thing, like, cause like he came to the NBA and like he immediately broke his foot, and like he was out for like another 2 seasons. Now he's like one of the best players, and his whole thing the entire time was just trust the process.
I think it's hard. It's like doing a trust fall.
Yeah,
like
it's hard,
really
man.
Scary.
It's scary because fucking there's no guarantees in life. Fucking, but that's like you could fucking die tomorrow. Who the fuck knows, dude? So, like, I mean, dude. Oh, I'm terrified of dying. It's, like, one of my greatest fears.
Are you scared to die?
Oh, terrified. I have a crippling fear of death.
You seem like an atheist to me.
No. I have a certain level of faith. Like, it's not like we're, like, I used to be real religious, like, as a kid.
Oh, I need to hear about this shit.
Yeah,
like, praying and getting fucked in the ass? Or?
No.
Oh, okay.
That.
Oh, okay.
Like, we went to Catholic church. I never got raped.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, man.
You made it out.
Bob and weed, baby.
Statistically speaking, it sounds like you wouldn't have made it out.
No, like, we weren't, like, religious, like, where I was going to the fucking church, like, on the weekdays. But, like, we'd go, like, on the weekends and stuff. And, I don't know, dude. At some point, free thinking kicks in at some point in your life.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I had bad OCD, too. So, like, I used to, like, pray a lot. Like whenever, like, I had this, like, because, like, there's this weird thing when I realized, like, when I was 5, like, it hit me. I was like, oh, dude, I don't know what dying is. I was like, oh, which is a weird age for... real aggressive age to realize that, like,
yeah, man.
Because like fucking, and then like everyone's like, oh, you just go to heaven, and everybody tells you that, but then as you get older, you're like, oh, is that? Oh shit. So now like I believe in a spirituality. It's not like where I'm like Catholic or religion. I believe in like this overall like force, not necessarily like it does things for you, but like it directs you. And, like, you choose whether or not you follow it.
You've taken mushrooms.
No, I haven't. Dude, my therapist is like, don't ever take any psychedelics. You'll fucking kill yourself.
God damn. Because you sound like someone who's taken mushrooms.
No, dude, I have, like, crippling anxiety. Like, I fucking... Like, dude, if you ever heard... Like, my old roommates can attest to this, and, like, my roommate now can. But, like, dude, the other thing about me constantly going all the time is because if I slow down, the anxiety catches up. So, like, I'm constantly... Like, I have a hard time being alone. Because, like... Like people are like, oh, why are you always by yourself? Because I need to be around people, dude. Why? That's why I do comedy all the time. Is because I'm always around people. So like fucking, it's also like there's a give and take to it. Like I need it just as much as I want to do it. Yeah. So like, there's that whole thing. But like, dude, I used to like when I have panic attacks, they are aggressive. Like
what happens?
My whole body just goes into like hyperdrive. Like and I get like such a surge of adrenaline. I like punch shit. I feel like I need to run. One time I almost knocked myself out. because I was standing in a doorway and I jumped up. And I cranked my head on the door, dude.
Wait, you're just like standing like
I was
that?
standing in a doorway, and then I forget. Me and my roommate were talking. Like one of my old roommates, one of my best friends. We were talking about something, and like I fucking like my body was just like, we need to fucking move, or we're gonna fucking have a heart attack. So I jumped. And I don't jump like. This is gonna sound like I'm gonna sound like an asshole saying this, but I jump really fucking high. Like
Yeah,
I could.
That's that hat, baby.
I could dunk a basketball in high school. Like I can jump high as fuck.
Yeah.
So like I jumped up, like how runners jump to like stretch their legs. I fucking slammed my head in the door, and my roommate I didn't want to tell him I was having a panic attack. So I was like, oh, I saw a spider, dude. I was like, fucking freaked me out, and I jumped up. And he's like, damn, dude. He's like, that's aggressive.
Do you take medication for it?
No, just fucking learn to work through it. Breathing.
And so you're afraid of death. Like that's your probably biggest fear.
Oh, for sure.
Is it the idea that you'd go to hell, or is the idea the lights are out?
It's both probably, but like definitely the lights are out thing. But also I hate the idea of loneliness. Like I hate the idea that it's like an alone thing where you're just by yourself.
Have you ever been? This is gonna sound like a really strange question, and I'll bring it all the way around.
God.
Have you ever been knocked unconscious by someone?
No.
I had that same the lights out fear. I had that too, and then I had an incident in California.
Yeah, someone punched you in the face.
No, like a bitch. He came from behind me.
Oh,
so
fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, so I was like talking.
That's
like
how most
this.
knockouts happen though, because like if you see it coming, you can brace yourself.
Right. I was talking to a friend like this, and then I guess he had walked past me, and I just wasn't thinking about him. I didn't know who he was. He had seen me do street stand up, and he didn't. Oh yeah, I was doing.
Holy shit, dog! That's funny as fuck.
I'll give you some context here. So,
oh my god, yeah, that joke. Fuck you.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my god.
Basically, so pre-pandemic, like right before Kobe's death, I think.
Oh. Okay.
I was performing on the street because of the community I was in. I didn't get enough of my own stage time.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'll just do it this way.
That's fine.
And then pandemic hit, and then a little bit of time went by, and I was like, well, I can go on the street and do this now.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that for months. And then one day, this guy, I guess he didn't like something I said, and I don't know what I even said, but he walked past me, he came from behind me, and then he hit me. I was just knocked out immediately.
Yeah.
Then from what I was told, he was like on top of me, just trying to murder me.
Holy shit.
And then luckily my friend and some other people were there to like get him away. Then he like ran off. And I guess he kept saying, you don't mess with mothers and babies. I don't know what that means. I don't have any jokes about mothers and babies.
That's so weird.
But the point is, it was like black.
Yeah.
And then I'm up, and it made me weirdly comfortable.
I've been knocked out with like fucking like for surgeries and shit. And it's kind of like that.
Yeah. It was just like, it felt like nothing. It felt like if that is what nothingness is, I'm okay with that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Granted, I don't want to ever experience that again.
Yeah.
I would rather there be some sort of heaven.
Yeah, definitely.
But
well, I mean, my therapist is like a super like. He's definitely taking mushrooms.
Of course.
Yeah, and he fucking like he's really into like all this like this near death experience shit. He tells me about it. And like he's like 99% of it's good, man. I'm like, what about that other 1%?
That 1%.
Like, that 1%'s what I got a problem with.
Have you ever had a near-death experience?
No, I mean, there's been a few times where it's like, oh, I could have died there, but it's not like where I almost actually did, like where like my heart stopped or anything. Like I almost had a fucking tank explode in front of me once at work.
Oh, okay, yeah, engineering stuff.
No, construction shit. Yeah, this dude, he was fucking around with his blowtorch and like the butane tank. And
this is how men die.
Yeah, dog. And fucking and like it wouldn't shut off, and it was just like spraying out, and fucking like the knob was broken or some shit. And I remember like it was weird because like when dangerous shit like that happens, everything slows down. I don't know if this happens for everybody, but for me it definitely does. And like I remember like looking around, and I remember looking at him like, dude, are you gonna fucking grab something to put it out with? And he's like, I don't have. And he looked at me, he's like, I don't have anything. I was like, oh shit. And I turned, and there was a fire extinguisher next to me. And as I went to grab it, someone already had grabbed one from like down the hall and like ran over. And like I was like, oh, thank God. And then he picked up. He's like, wow, this thing's full. He's like, if the fire had gone into it, it would have blown up. We all would have died. I'm like, cool. I'm like, really cool. He's like, yeah, shrapnel would have killed us all. I'm like, holy shit. And then later that week, I was fucking driving a jet ski with my friend, and we hit a giant fucking wake, and both of us like were flying off it, and I pushed it out of the way of us. Like at the last minute, I'm like, we for sure would have fucking slammed into that thing, and it would have fucked us up. And like both those happened in 1 week, and like both of those was like, oh, time kind of slowed down there for me. I'm like, I bet that was really bad.
It sounds like you've had the 80%.
Oh yeah, I've gotten close to it.
Yeah, you've gotten close to the 99.
I'm sure driving too. There's been plenty of times where I'm like, oh, that was sketchy.
Yeah. Driving out here is a different beast.
Oh yeah, you gotta be good.
Yeah, just prepared.
Prepared. Yeah,
like,
that's a good way to put it.
It's people. It feels like it's not about the laws of how the road work. It's about what makes sense.
Yeah, and that's how driving should be.
Yeah, but not everyone's smart.
Yeah, no, I'm like, this is how people should drive.
So when it comes to the idea of like, let's say you went to heaven, what do you picture that as?
That's a tough one, man. Because like when you're a kid, you're like, oh yeah, it's just this glowy place where everybody is, and we're all kicking it. It's like, I don't know, man. I guess it would just be like, I really need people. Like I'm fucking like, I guess I probably have an attachment problem, but like I love being around people so much.
That's so strange to me.
I like love it and hate it, right? So like I like doing stand up where I'm by myself on the stage, but I also like love being around people in the sense like where there's like a community thing.
I think I have a really raw recent experience of that was at the Laugh Factory Christmas party, where I got there and I was like, oh, I'm really uncomfortable and anxious here. And then I realized everyone else kind of was.
Yeah.
And then I felt comfort in the community of that everyone here was awkward and weird.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, does that make sense?
No, that makes sense, definitely. Freaks and geeks, dog.
Freaks and geeks, man.
Yeah.
Freaks and geeks. I'm going to get that tattooed. Only if you get it tattooed.
The TV show?
Yeah. Just get the
logo?
Yeah.
And then get fucking Seth Rogen's face, James Franco's.
It'll be perfect. Well, I know. Aren't they like not friends anymore?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way,
life goes on.
Yeah. So you never came off as someone that wanted to be around people, which I find interesting.
Well, like I do and don't, right? Like I enjoy like being around people, but also like I don't like the bullshit of it. So like there's a lot of bullshit with people where people like, especially with comedy, where people are like, oh, they're just trying to like get to the next level and shit. Like one of my best friends comedically and like best friends in general is Corey Wood. I guess I should say his stage name, Corey Evans. But
find him now.
He's in Texas. He's not really doing comedy like as aggressively as he was when he was here, and he's happier and like fucking engaged and like all this shit. But like we bonded over the fact like when we went to open mics, we didn't talk about comedy. Cause he's like, I don't want to. He's like, that's fine. He's like, do your bits. He's like, don't run your bits by me while I'm fucking sitting here trying to eat. He's like,
black dude?
No, white dude.
Oh, okay.
And we used to fucking just sit and like talk about sports and fucking anything, and that's what we bonded over. And like I liked like talking to comedians about like life and shit. But then there's like the weird thing about it is there's this whole thing where it's like, oh, it's also like I'm trying to get booked, and it's like, hey man, where'd you get that at? And it's like, yeah, it's a part of it, and I've accepted that. But it's like, yeah, dude, I like being around people in the sense that like I love people, like in terms of like we're all flawed and broken and like trying to figure things out. And also, you know, people annoy me. I have a short temper. People get on my nerves easily and like fucking. So I distance and I keep close to people at the same time. It's weird. People are weird, man. I'm broken inside, no doubt.
I'm glad how
this all came together.
Full circle, baby.
This all came together.
It always does. I know what you mean, especially about the hustle aspect of things. Yeah. Like doing this podcast, and I said this to Matt Bright, there's a weird element to that because on one end, I want to make friends and get to know people. Yeah. And then on the other end, it's like, well, I'm going to post this and make clips, and it's part of my business. It's a weird thing.
It's a weird combination.
But do you prefer conversations like intimate, or do you like the Laugh Factory situation?
I don't mind either. Like I can do both. Like fucking. I mean, I don't mind either. Like I do. There's a certain niceness to the intimacy of like a one-on-one conversation, but then like being around like a bunch of like psychopaths all trying to talk over each other, there's like something fun about that too. Yeah. And also, especially when everybody's drinking, like, oh yeah, and it's like it's fun, dude. Like I enjoy like laughing and like making fun of shit, so like I enjoy that.
Do you try to out laugh people, or do you hang back and watch?
I'm sure I do both without thinking about it, but like try to out funny people. No, I don't try to do that ever. Like normally I just like lay in the cut and I'm just like, all right, let's fucking. I'm just here, man. Whatever. If I say something funny and can interject something funny, I will. But like, I'm not like, oh, I gotta be the funniest person. I'm just like, yeah, fucking just enjoyed fucking being around people. Because like, the funniest people don't try. Yeah. Like if I'm guaranteed you have a conversation with Dave Chappelle, he's not like, oh, I'm trying to be funnier than you. He's just fucking. Or you have a conversation with like Kevin Hart, they're not like, oh, I'm gonna be funnier than you. Like Chris Farley might have been like that, but that was just because that's like that dude was just fucking pure energy. So like that's the only person on earth I think where he might have been like, I gotta be funny all the time.
Chris Farley, Robin Williams.
Yeah, those two people were probably like, I gotta be funny all the time because that's who I am.
And it worked for them.
But yeah, it was like endearing though because they did it in a mannerism in which you're like, oh, they're trying to bring me joy. Yeah. Yeah. Versus they're not trying to out funny someone. They're just trying to be the funniest person.
It didn't feel like it was an ego thing.
Yeah, no, it was I'm just trying to be funny for everyone else thing.
Right.
Which there's a difference in that.
And there's a beauty in that. I did not expect you to be this soft and squishy on the inside, man.
Oh, wow, really? Yeah, I'm a big old bitch inside, dog.
It's beautiful. I'm happy to know that. Yeah. Have you ever been in a fight?
Oh yeah, I've been in a couple. Yeah.
Okay. Did you
mostly growing up? Like I haven't like as an adult had to punch anyone, but if I had to, I'd be able to. But you know, I was in a few. I choked a few kids out when I was younger.
A few.
Like it was mostly like the same 3 kids, but yeah.
Were they like?
They just would start shit in our neighborhood, and I'd be like, why do we gotta do this? I'm like,
dude, what was it like? I guess you don't have anything to compare to because you grew up out here. You never lived anywhere else.
I grew up in the burbs of Chicago, so like.
But you've never lived outside of Illinois.
No. I went to college in Indiana, but it barely counts.
Where did you?
Purdue.
Where's the
southeast,
east. So so also cold, similar.
Yeah, it's similar vibe. Cornfields and shit.
Because I'm learning, like after moving out here, I'm learning about it's a different culture because of the weather.
Yeah, dude, definitely. No, dude. There's definitely a difference in like people depending on. I mean, anywhere you go, there's a difference. Like, there's a certain laid backness and warmth versus like there's a ruggedness and the cold. Like, look at fucking Vikings, dog. They're all like, we gotta kill everything. Yeah, it's fucking freezing, man.
They got deer heads on their heads.
Yeah, that type of shit. And then there's like people from the like Bahamas, like, yo, just have a Mai Tai, fucking kick back, dog.
It's I keep running into this, and I can't wait until I've been in Chicago long enough to where this isn't a conversation I have to have with people anymore. As I bring it up again, but whatever. But when I get so frustrated when I say California, like from California, because people aren't picturing.
Nah. I was just listening in the car.
This is the
Phantom Planet, dog.
Right. But there's this perception that it's all the beach and LA.
Oh yeah, dude. That's where people's minds go to because it's like the most like it's the most visible.
Right.
Hollywood, but like no, there's like Sacramento and fucking. It's got a wider. It's a wide range. Like my mom's was originally from San Diego, and like that's like a heavy surfer vibe, like fucking. Yeah.
There's a vibe. There's California feels like 3 different states.
Yeah, it is because it's fucking ginormous.
Yeah, and I think what frustrates me is I'm super excited to be here, and I think it's like an not insecurity thing, but like a maybe that's what it is. But the idea, how do I word this? When moving, I got so much pushback to moving here that the idea of someone saying, "Well, go back," it fucking frustrates. It makes me angry. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, so like if like you complain about something, someone's like, "Well, just go back to where you're from then." Like
yeah,
that kind of thing.
Kind of, because I've not even been complaining out here. It's more that like, I think I don't like the lie that California presents itself as.
Oh, where people are like, "Why would you move here?"
Why would you move? Yeah, why would you move away from paradise? And it's not fucking paradise. Not at all.
Dude, that's the illusion I fell into too of California, like for a long time. But like talking to people who like lived out there and shit, I'm like, oh, it sucks.
It's so expensive and it's so hot.
Yeah. Fuck. No, dude, that's the thing is like, well, when you're from cold places, you're like, why would you leave somewhere that's warm? What are you doing? And it's like, you can move there too, bitch.
Yeah.
If you like that idea so much, you can move too, asshole.
Yeah, it's an experience.
Yeah, dude, but that's the thing is like, you don't live in a place because like the weather always like you can, no doubt, but like you do it for other reasons. Like I think it's the best city on earth.
I fucking love Chicago.
It's the greatest city on the planet if you ask me.
Dude, I haven't even been here a year yet, and when some people talk shit about Chicago, I'm like, hey, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, there's a reason. Like, dude, it's funny because Segura on his podcast was one time he's like, I don't get people who are like so overly like sentimental and like connected to places. And I'm like, well, I think it depends on like how attached to that place you are and like how ingratiated you are to it. Like, I think Chicago just has a way of doing that to you, where it's just like, this fucking place is the best.
It is.
Fuck everybody.
It is so fucking cool here.
Yeah.
And
if we could just get emancipated from the rest of the state.
Right? I like driving through Illinois.
It's so weird.
One of the things I was escaping was, I mean, you can't escape racism anywhere, but one of the things I was escaping was this like hyper conservative.
Oh, dude, you got to hear this. Today I was in a 7-Eleven and there's this motherfucker. And like, dude, I get it. People are frustrated with the fucking virus and like everybody's got their own takes. But he like wasn't wearing a mask. He was one of these people. And I was like, dude, if that makes you feel better, whatever. I don't give a shit. But like his whole thing was like, he's like, this fucking new vaccine thing is fucking segregation. I'm like, you're telling a goddamn Indian store clerk what segregation is right now, you white motherfucker?
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it. I'm white, but fuck you, the caucasity of that. I'm like, are you out of your goddamn mind? I'm like, you're trying to tell someone about discrimination who faces it tenfold compared to you? What, because you don't want to get a shot because you're a bitch? Get the fuck out of my face.
I love it when you go full Chicago.
Yeah, dude. I hate fucking anyone who leans too far anyway politically. I'm like, you're a piece of shit. Shut the fuck up.
It does. It's starting to feel like a like. You remember pre-Trump when you would meet people that
and it wouldn't matter what your political beliefs were.
That, and have you ever? I call them NPCs. You ever met an NPC?
Non-playable character.
A person.
They're just void. They're just like, yep, you're just nothing.
I feel like all the NPCs
suddenly have personalities.
They use this as their personality.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, it's like, well, now I have a thing. Like the people at the Capitol riots didn't have a thing.
I think the difference is they had a thing. They just weren't vocalized about it. And now it's like, oh, we can talk about it now? All right.
Which is weird because I've mixed, like, part of me is happy that they do because now I'm like, oh, you're wearing the hat? Okay, I'm not going to be around you.
No doubt.
And the other part of me is like, well, now they're...
Dude, there's a funny-ass video. These dudes, I fucking can't remember their names. They have a TikTok channel and a Twitter and a YouTube that's, like, super popular and, like, an IG. But, like, they go around just fucking with people about political stuff. And they were at, like, a thing for, like, Trump or something. And people were like, let's go, Brandon. And they're like, what's that mean? And they're like, fuck Joe Biden. And like, you want to have sex with Joe Biden? And it's so goddamn funny the way they did it.
Do they do it like
totally? They did totally fucking clean. I was like, oh my god, that's so. They're like, no, I wouldn't like fuck him. They're like, no, not like that. Like, like fuck him. Like I don't like it. Like, I'm like, no, I get it. You want to fuck Joe Biden? Like, they did it like so clean face. Where I was like, that is hilarious to do to another human being.
That's when you can meet someone who. Have you seen what is his name? He had a show on Nathan For You.
Yeah, where he just like fucking.
I don't know. Can you
without breaking? Nah, dude, I'm easy to get. Like, you can get like I can like do sketches and shit. Like if you need me to record a sketch, I'll lock that shit down.
Yeah.
But like if something really funny happens, I'm fucking.
You're gonna break.
Folding, dude. I am folding.
It's so hard not to break. Meeting people like who can go in these intense situations and just
fucking Jordan Klepper, dude.
Yeah.
That dude's fucking next level.
And it's like.
It's like dude, he does it on both sides. Like I saw him do it to like people recently who are like the like super hippie, like you can't get the vaccine because like you don't know what's in it, man. And then like the one lady he was talking to was like, my cat, like he's like, wait, you take medical advice from a cat? And he's like, you do that often? And I was like, that's so funny to ask a follow up and fucking take it like a serious interview after someone just said they were like observing their cat on how they fucking eat.
It's great. I have a random question for you.
Yeah, sure.
I think I'm going to start adding random questions.
Do it.
If you could bring back a comedian from the dead,
yeah, okay.
They get to exist for 5 years and make one more special, then they're gone again.
Oh, that is one of the greatest questions you'll ever ask a comedian.
Oh, good.
That's such a good comedy question. Oh man, dude, there's so many. Fuck. Like, a lot of people I think would say Patrice with like what's going on right now.
Oh yeah.
And he's a good one. But like, dude, Richard Pryor's just up there on my Mount Rushmore.
Who's your Mount Rushmore?
It's Pryor, Chappelle, Murphy, and then probably Burr. Yeah.
I'm with you on those.
Yeah, no. And CK was up there for a while, but then like Burr, it's not even with the whole jerking off thing. Like Burr surpassed him at some point where it's like, oh, Burr's just fucking locked in, dude. And Segura's up there too. Segura's so goddamn funny.
They are. Like what we were saying before about not trying to be fun, like there's something about them.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's the thing. Like when I remember, like, so you asked like why, like how I got into this so heavily. Like I remember, like I grew up watching those dudes. Like fucking, I watched Murphy. Like my dad gave me fucking Eddie Murphy's like DVD when I was in the 8th grade. I was like, this is probably too early, but okay.
Oh, it's delirious.
We used to watch. Oh my god, dude, Chef's Kiss. I love that
Yes.
fucking dude. I have it. I still have the DVD. I watch it sometimes.
Same.
Fucking. And then we used to watch like Carlin and fucking like.
So your dad kind of got you.
Yeah, my dad kind of like got me into it, like with like and like we watched Pryor, and then like Comedy Central was always on in the house, and fucking he let me see Blazing Saddles at way too early of an age. I fucking love that movie so much.
Is he like proud of you for doing comedy?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
He's like, yeah, he's a good dude. My mom is too, but like they're both like, you gotta have a day job though too. I'm like, yeah, you guys don't get it, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no. So they like we started doing that shit. Like me and my dad literally the other day were just quoting Blazing Saddles.
That's awesome, dude. Like when I meet people that do things like engineering or whatever, it's usually their parents are like, no, you have to keep.
No, they were
that.
like, you can quit if you want. Like, it's gonna be a different life. And I'm like, yeah, I get it.
That's very understandable.
But there was also a certain level of pressure where it was always kind of felt unspoken. Where it was like, yeah, I'm supposed to do this because this is what I'm good. Mm-hmm. It's weird. There's a weird dynamic with that where you're like good at sciences, but also want to do art shit and like you want to make people proud. It's so strange. It's being a person's weird.
Yes, that's a good way to summarize humanity.
Yeah,
being a person is weird.
Because you feel all these expectations, but also you want to do things with your life, and it's like, well, shouldn't you just do what you want? But then also, you're internally like, no, I can't, man. I gotta fucking make people proud and shit. It's like, especially when you're a kid, like, dude, this is like something I would tell kids now. Take a year off. Don't go to college. Figure some shit out. Because like, dude, everyone like tells you to go to college, and like now I realize like, dude. 18? You want an 18-year-old to figure my life out? I was a fucking idiot at 18. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. How old are you now?
I'm 28 now.
Yeah.
I was like, 10 years ago, I was a fucking moron, dude. I hadn't been through shit. I hadn't been through anything.
And it's like you're putting a bunch of 18-year-olds who haven't had enough life experience.
Yeah, dude, they've all fucking most of them fucking are a lot of them are in the suburbs, just fucking. And their parents like, you go to college, and it's like, all right, I guess I go to college, and you're like, I guess I'm gonna do marketing, and it's like, all right, now I gotta figure out how I want to do a marketing, and it's like, dude, and then you grow up, and then like you get out of college, and that was one of the things where like the existential dread really hit me, because I got out of college, and like I was like around my friends, and we were all hanging out, drinking, I was doing comedy, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this comedy thing going, and then I was like, oh shit, I just kind of don't know what to do now and how to make all this work, and now I'm just here.
The post-college openness
of life is so weird, dude.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest fucking thing in the world, especially because like I always had this thing where I was like, I need to get out, like because I lived with my parents like after I graduated in December 2015. I took an extra half a year to get the degree because your boy liked to party.
Hey,
and
you gotta do some stuff, man.
Yeah, dude. And like fucking, but most fucking engineers don't do it in 4 years. Like I have a few friends who did. I'm like, are you out of your goddamn mind? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, you have no friends.
Yeah, no, they did, but they were just actually focused, and they wanted to have careers and shit. And I was like, let's go drink, man. Fuck it. Let's have a good time.
Yeah, I got
like, dude, that was the thing is I never had that when I was a kid. Like, fucking, like, I didn't start drinking until I was, like, 19.
It's probably healthy.
Yeah, no, it was better for me. Like, because, like, I had this, but that was also, it was unhealthy, too, because I had, like, a whole control thing where, like, I didn't want to drink because I didn't want to be out of control and shit. And,
I remember that game.
Yeah, dog. And now I'm like, yeah, fuck it, have fun.
Yeah, it helps you let go.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, that's the thing is, like, so, like, when you're 18, 19, you're fucking trying to figure all this shit out. And, like, but now you get in the real world and it's like, oh, you're supposed to just have it figured out? No, dude, it takes time. And that's why, like, in Australia, it's normal for people to, like, and that's how it should be. Like, in Australia and European countries, like, yeah, take a couple years, figure some shit out, and then figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, I think our society, our system, man.
Well, dude, the problem is, like, America's aggressively phobic of change.
Yeah, actually. Can you elaborate on that?
America's a very rigid place because there's this whole thing where we came up. First off, it's based in Christian, in a Christian basis, like a society of for religious. Like everyone goes, oh, church and state and everything, but it's like, nah, dude, they're intertwined a little bit.
Yeah.
So this whole thing, the dude below you produces music.
Yep.
That's amazing. I love it. You probably hate it, but I love it.
He's really talented. I'll show you his Instagram later.
Dope.
Really talented. But sometimes
the last place I lived, the lady above me was a piano teacher, and she was so good. And like listening to her, I was like, oh, it's peaceful. And listening to her students, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking shoot through the goddamn ceiling.
Just chopsticks.
I'm like, just hit the notes. What are you doing up there? She's a good teacher. How are you fucking this up?
Do you play music?
Nah, I'm so unmusically talented. It's gross.
That's upsetting. Okay, I'm sorry, man. Yeah. So America's rigid.
America's rigid because like we came up and like we built this thing, right? Mm-hmm. So and then they went, oh well, we built this thing, so we're the best, and you stay the best, and. Mm-hmm. Like they're like, and like there was this whole idea where it's like, oh well, we have to keep doing these things that made us the best, and like there became a system in place where like it was designed to follow those things, and everyone gets brought up in that system, and then like a lot of them like free thinking, like in the '60s, the hippies were so full of shit, dude, because like the hippies were all like free thinking, man, but then they didn't ever actualize anything. Yeah, and that was the problem. Like, so you need people who are free thinkers but also actualize those things, like. So the problem is, and a lot of those hippies ended up just going into the system and just following the system, and they were just doing blow in the 80s, and they were stockbrokers.
Right.
And like fucking, so like a lot of it is just like, oh, this is what we do to succeed, and that's like why the systems are the way they are, and that's why it took so long for gay marriage to happen. All these other things, like fucking, that's why abortion rights are sliding backwards, is because like people are locked into these ideas where it's like, well, this is the thing we follow. Instead of being open-minded and being like, well, what if we look at things some other ways? And I get it. That's humanity. Humanity is like, oh, I want the things that make me feel comfortable because then I'm safe. But, like, you can still be safe and be outside your comfort zone. You just have to learn the balance. And people don't want to learn that balance.
Yeah, sorry.
No, dude, high bass, I got it.
Do you think Gen Z will...
Nah, these kids are fucking idiots. I don't know a nice way to put it. Dude, like I watch TikToks, I'm like, oh, these fucking kids are morons.
I think working with kids is
damn, this dude is good.
He's really good. Hold on. He needs a shout out. I forgot his name. While I'm looking this up. Kids are interesting now. Like socially speaking, they're completely inept. Because they've been out of school for a year and a half, and
and also a lot of their communication has been through social media and shit, and they don't know how to interact in person, which I wasn't great at growing up either, and I'm still fucking not great at, but I have a certain level of it.
It's really bad now. Like
I see it, dude. I had a project where we were like remodeling a school, and I would like look at these kids. I'm like, oh god, oh no.
Okay, so like if you're talking to a second grader now, this is their first time back in school since kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And when I think about that, I'm like, god damn, they
missed a big chunk.
A lot.
I had my first girlfriend in kindergarten.
You getting bitches back when wearing diapers.
No, I remember that when some girl was like, you're my boyfriend. I'm like, all right, whatever the fuck that means.
She just decided it?
Yeah.
She's a dominatrix now, I bet you.
Probably. That would be funny as shit. I would love to find that out. I need to go dig up my kindergarten yearbook and find out. Fucking first off, remember her name, and then second off, find out if she's a dominatrix.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone into your old yearbook?
Yeah, dude. I go look up people. I'm always fascinated to see what happened to people's lives.
It's really interesting. And like before I moved, I called all the numbers that were left.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A lot of people have kids now.
Oh, yeah, probably. Well, what are you, 30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't find it. Whatever. He's good.
It's all good.
There's a thing I had a conversation with Izzy about. I don't know if it was on the podcast or not, but she said that George Carlin and Daily Show, not Trevor Noah. Jon Stewart, all those guys almost raised the bar a little too much, and now comedians are taken too seriously. Would you agree or disagree, sir?
So that's a good one. And this kind of brings me back to, I forgot I was going to make a point earlier. But like there's a thing where like certain comedians kind of exist in like this otherworldly realm almost, where it's like, oh, like this was the thing where like, and it's funny because I have my Mount Rushmore, but those weren't that's not the person who was like, oh, I could do comedy. Dane Cook. I saw that dude do comedy. I'm like, normal people can do this.
Yeah.
Because like when you watch Carlin and like Pryor and like Chappelle even and fucking like Eddie Murphy, you're like, oh, these are like superstars. These are people who were made to do this shit. Then I watch Dane Cook. I'm like, oh, he's just a guy who's like funny and shit and like is energetic. I'm like, anyone can just do this? And I was like, oh shit. And like he just seemed like a regular dude. And like it's not like a knock on him. Like everyone loves to knock Dane Cook now, and it's only because other comedians got jealous of him and started shitting on him so much. And everyone's like, "Oh, he fell off." He didn't fall off. His brother robbed him fucking blind.
I heard about that.
Yeah, dude. If you want to hear the whole interview, fucking there's a clip from Segura's podcast where he describes what happened. But basically, the dude robbed him blind, and then he had to take a bunch of shitty movies because he needed to make money back. So he wasn't doing stand-up, and then it seemed like he fell off, but it wasn't. He was just fucking trying to get the money back that he all lost.
If his brother robbed him, can his brother not just give him that money?
They have no idea where it is. The dude fucking hid that shit so well. They're like, that's what one of the things he talks about. He's like, I only got a portion of it back because he hid it so goddamn well.
Like the physical cash is hidden somewhere.
Yeah, dude. Like it's gone. Like they don't know where the fuck the dude put it.
They need to make a
that's
Netflix.
Some evil motherfucker type shit. Dog.
They need to make a Netflix documentary about Dane Cook finding the
treasure, dog.
I want to see the
Yeah, dude. It's wild, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, he was like one of the first people who was like, oh, I could do I wrote my first joke when I was 13, and then and I got like obsessed with basketball. It didn't pan out, and then like 17, I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with my life?
So Dane Cook made it feel realistic.
Yeah. So like when you look at there is a certain seriousness to comedians, sure. There's also people who are funny and goofy and shit. So I mean, I think it depends on how you choose to look at people, right? So like if you want to look at people, like that was the weird thing that happened where like when Trump was coming up, like every talk show host was giving a speech about how the world is and what's happening. And yeah, that's because like they're like these people who people would see every night, so they kind of felt the need to. But if they wanted to just go out there and be funny and ignore it, they could. But like that's the thing with the pressure of social media and fucking everything being visible now is like, oh, why wouldn't you say something about this? So they felt the need to, and they're people, so they have poignant things to say. So yeah, there is a certain seriousness to them, sure, certainly, and that you could take them seriously, but also you can ignore that shit and like acknowledge what's jokes and what's serious, because like my whole thing was you can tell if I'm being serious. Like I'm shitting on you as a person and like meaning it, you can tell. Like if I'm saying some shit to you and I mean that shit, I have a tone and a way of speaking where you're like, oh, he's not joking. Versus like if I'm joking, it's like, oh yeah, he's joking. And like,
you literally changed your tone right there.
Oh yeah, I know how to flip it on.
Nice. You're a sociopath. Good.
Yeah, probably. I mean, anyone who does comedy definitely is, dog.
Yeah.
But no, dude, I know like I'm aware of like how to fucking speak. Like I'm present with like how I speak to people. So like I'm aware of it. Like I take pride in it. Like I bombed my cousin's best man speech and I fucking.
You brought that up.
I'll never fucking get over that.
What happened?
So like the thing is like I wanted to like not seem like I was being a dick about it, right? So I was like, I'll just read it.
Okay.
Right? Because like I didn't want to seem like, oh, this guy does comedy, he's just fucking winging it. So I didn't want to seem like I was being a dick about it. So I was like, all right. And he had like another, like him and his best friend and I split like best man duties, so we both gave speeches. And he read it and his was funny as shit. And I was like, I give him all the props. I was like, damn, that was really good. Like, fuck, I gotta follow that now.
Oh, you had to follow him.
Yeah, I was like, fuck.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, I'll be fine. But as I was reading, I was trying to read it off my phone because like it was in my notes, and like, I was like skimming over it, and I'm like, oh, I don't read when I perform. I'm not used to speaking and reading. I'm used to just doing.
Right.
So like my brain was like, what the fuck are we doing, man? And like I was like, I know I like fucking stumbled over shit and like fucking.
Is there video?
There's an audio. I took audio of it. I listened to it when I need to feel bad about myself.
If you're comfortable, I might want to put the audio at the end of this podcast. No, god damn it! All right,
because like it's about like my cousin and his wife and shit, so that's why I wouldn't. But
never mind.
But like, dude, like there's certain parts where I was like joking and certain parts where I was serious. But like when you're doing comedy, you're used to hearing, you want those pops. Like you're like, all right, it needs to pop here. Yeah. Like this is the punchline. This is where it pops. And I like didn't notice those, so I was like, I am fucking this up. I'm like, I'm doing so bad. I remember people afterwards being like, and here's the thing. Here's the problem with me as a person is it's not about me. That day is not. It's about my cousin and his wife.
Right.
And my cousin-in-law. And it's fucking and here I'm like, I fucking bombed this speech. Everyone saw it. They hate me. I was like, no. Everyone was like, yeah, it was a good speech, man. Like, it was dog shit. Everyone told me it was good. Everyone told me it was good. I'm like, it sucked. It sucked. And one person was like, you speak too fast. I'm like, oh, I probably was reading it fast.
I can see that. But it's funny, like, as a comedian in that scenario, yeah, at the end of the day, they're going to drink champagne and they want to watch them dance.
Care. Yeah.
It's like you, and you seem self-aware about it. I think self-awareness is almost key in comedy.
You have to be aware of like, because like, yeah, you can go up and kill, like, dude, it's funny because like when you kill, it's never as great as you think it is, and when you bomb, it's never as bad as you think it is. Like every time I go back and listen to it, I'm like, it was just okay. Or like, it was like here's the thing, like if I feel like I just did okay on stage, that is worse than bombing to me. Because like just doing okay, where I was like, I left too much on the table. Whereas if I'm bombing, it's fucking hysterical now. Where I'm like, God damn, you dumb motherfucker.
At least something happened.
Yeah. Versus like, so I'd rather be in a state where I was like, oh, I killed that shit, and then listen back and be like, oh, it was okay. Versus just doing it and being like, it was okay, and then listening and being like, it was even more okay than I thought. And then if I bomb, I'd rather go and bomb and be like, that shit sucked. and then listen back and be like, yep, it sucked, but it wasn't as bad as I thought.
I could see that. I see the levels to it.
Yeah, there's levels to all this shit.
Yeah, man. There's levels to this shit.
Levels to this shit.
That was a reference. Who was that? Who said that? There's levels to this. That's
Avicii?
a quote, I guess. I don't know. Anyway.
No, it's a
all right. My brothers are in town, so I'm going to have to see them. But before you go, and then I get naked, because I'm in my place.
Yeah. There's an order to that.
Yes.
He's not getting naked before
I'm not going to get naked before you.
Confuse people.
Yes. Thank you for coming here, by the way.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Dude.
Most of the time I go other people.
No, dude, I have a car. It's no problem, man.
If you're up for doing this again in the future.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Cool.
I mean, this takes work too, man. This is going to take... let me tell you somebody. I tried to do a podcast. You're gonna get like 10 views a fucking episode. There's people like I love and know who aren't gonna watch this. They're gonna be like, oh, whatever. Like my parents will. My parents fucking.
Your parents are gonna listen to this?
Yeah, definitely.
Like to this point?
Maybe
because we're an hour in.
Oh wow, really? Maybe not. They'll listen to some of it though. But yeah, no, they listen to a lot of like it always fascinates me when my parents are like, yeah, we listen to that podcast. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, no one listened to that podcast I did. I'm like,
hi Brian's parents.
Hi mom and dad. If you're this deep into it.
Is there anybody that you think I should hit up? Because I'm
to do this.
Yeah. Who do you think would be open to it?
Fucking anyone. Dude, anyone who is willing to speak into a microphone on stage is willing to sit here for an hour and just tell you their bullshit.
I will rephrase. Who do you think
would be good for it?
Yeah, in terms of my style of talking, and who do you think would flow?
Have you hit St. James up?
I have not.
Hit St. James up. Who else? Let me think. I don't want to just say one person because like I'm close with them.
No, that's fine.
Ben Gerber would. Tucker Brookshire.
Oh, these are people. I'm gonna have to re-listen to this and look them up then.
Yeah, no, Tucker would probably do this. Trying to think. There's like plenty of people who would be like down to like sit down and like hang out and talk and listen. Trying to think who else. I don't know, man. I can give you a list afterwards.
Yeah, that works.
I feel bad just shouting out 3 people, but fuck it.
They're not going to listen to this.
Yeah, they're not going to. That's a good point. They're not going to, and neither are any other comedians.
Yes. Perfect.
Yes.
All right, man. Well, I love you.
I love you too, man. Thanks, man.
Bye.
Bye.